What is up, guys? So we're back here at the container where I work on all my little motors at. We're back here at the LS motor where it's all disassembled. Now we got something brand new to show you. I got this just here lately. It just showed up like 2 days ago. Finally got the cam bearing replacements. So we can take these right here, the ones that I have just a couple left over from. See? And then we'll set these aside. And now we have these. It's a whole brand new set. We'll use those in the motor. I have a cam bearing tool, brand new cam bearing tool that's made specifically for LS motors. New cam bearing tool. It's got an actual machine dowel. Instead of having it be a universal one where it changes size, it has a lip around the back that actually hold the cam bearing straight and won't allow it to get crooked like these other ones did. And because see, when it gets crooked, it'll eat the bearing like it did with these, and you don't want that. So I had to buy this, which is specifically for LS motors. I got it off of Summit. I'll link it in the description. It's like $80, I think is what I paid for it. So hopefully it does the trick. We'll set that over there. Now this right here, it's a Texas Speed Cam. It's 4 to 5.3. Pull this out. Show you what it is. It's the Chop Monster. That's the card. And then this side. There's the 5.3 Bigfoot BFD. But yeah, so we got Texas Speed's Chop Monster. That's the camshaft I chose for it. So we're gonna put that in this motor right here that's gonna go in the S10. That's gonna be the trailer pulling truck slash drift truck is the plan for it. So we're trying to make like close to 500 horsepower with this. And my plans for today, since I have pretty much everything for the bottom end now, minus the cam cover, or not the cam, yeah, the cam cover on the front. I don't have that. I gotta get that. But we are going to use plastic gauge. We're gonna check mains. We'll make sure the mains work out good. We're gonna check the bearing clearance with that, and then we're also gonna check rod bearing clearance also. If all those come out good, we'll clean them back up, and then we'll actually start assembly. I also got to make sure that the rings are proper gap too. That's why I have this. But once we make sure that bearing clearances are right and that the ring gap is right, I mean, we're pretty much to the point now where we can actually fully assemble this bottom end and get it ready back on the stand and get the stuff ready for the start getting these cylinder heads on there. As you see, we already got the pistons over here pretty much cleaned up and ready. I got them numbered, see number 7, so that way it'll be easy to make sure I keep up with it. I also numbered over here on the block 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 6, 4, 2. So that way, no matter which way the blocks orientate or anything like that, I know which one is which. That way we don't get them confused. We make sure all the clearances are right. We know which one they go to, where they go, which way it points, where the rings go. Just helps keep everything in order. Much simpler that way. But alright guys, so I got the plastic gauge on each one of them. We're going to put the caps on it and then torque them down to specs and then check them. So we checked the clearance. It's just slightly too tight. Hold on, you can't really see it on that one. But it's just slightly too tight. So we're going to end up having to, there you go, you can see there. We're going to end up having to slightly polish the crank. Try to help get a little bit more space. It's like 15 10,000s. We're trying to get for 20 10,000s to 25 10,000s. And right now I have the cam bearings marked and orientated so that way we know where the top is. We got 5 down in the hole right now. We are about to try to knock it in. We're going to try to see if we can't get these cam bearings put in. And I'll show you after how it's working out. Alright, so this is going way better than last time. So we've got cam bearing 5 in, cam bearing 4 in, cam bearing 3 in. To put in cam bearing 2 and 1, we have to turn the motor around. So I'm going to turn the motor around real quick. And then we'll put in the second one and then the first one. And then all 5 cam bearings will be in the motor. And we will be able to then put the camshaft in. Alright guys, so cam bearings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are all in. Finally. Alright, so I'm checking the ring gap on these. This is the last one of the second ring. I've actually already filed all the top rings into all the second rings for all of them except for piston number 2. So right now we're working on piston number 2. Trying to get it up to 23 thousandths like all the rest of them. And then once I get all of those to 23 thousandths, we are going to make sure that all of the oil rings are right. Once all the oil rings are right, then all the rings will be done for the motor. They'll all be filed to fit, ready to go in, and we'll have that part done. Alright guys, so we got all the rings gapped to 23 thousandths. We're going to try to go to like 600-700 horsepower. At some point we're going to end up putting a turbo on it. But for the time being, at first, it's just going to be supercharged. I mean, not supercharged, naturally aspirated. But we went slightly past it because that way we won't have to open the motor back up to actually boost the motor with this current setup. Now, I've also polished the journals up. We used the string right here and then 1,000 grit sandpaper. You wrap it around it, wrap the string around it twice, and then when you pull the string back and forth, it will make it go back and forth over it. So you want to make sure that it covers it completely, so that way that it's sanding it all evenly at the same time, and that way you can kind of polish it. If your if the clearances aren't quite properly right, if they're too tight, you can do this to help just shave off a little bit to help loosen up the clearances just slightly without actually having to send it to a machine shop. I wouldn't recommend doing that for very much of the of a clearance difference, but if it's just like a little tiny little difference, a couple 10 thousandths, then you know you can do that and shave off just a tiny little bit, and also make it smooth without having to send it to the machine shop. So we got that nice and cleaned up. We're going to pull this gear off. We're going to wash it. We're going to make sure all these holes for the oil feeds are all they're all passed through. They're not blocked or anything like that. So we know that's good. As soon as they get back with the gear puller, we're going to pull this. We'll wash it, blow it out with air, let it dry. While it's drying, we're going to try and take, which this thing's this box is getting messed up from the cleaning this thing with carburetor cleaner. But so this is the camshaft I got for it from the Texas Speed. We're going to try to go ahead and install it into the motor, because right now you can get down in there and reach down in here and help like feed the cam through, so we actually get the cam in place. So my plan is we're going to put the cam in real quick while we're letting the crankshaft dry. So we'll go ahead and get it washed, and then while it's drying, we'll put the cam in here, and then when we get the cam in here, we'll go ahead and put the crank in here, get it bolted up and torqued in, so that way we have the crank in here. Then we can take these and put the bearings in them, check bearing clearance with those, make sure that that's going to be right. I have to still buy the rod bolts for it though, so we're going to buy rod bolts. Those will come very soon, probably a week or two, but I'll be able to get that done. And then put those in. We'll have a full rotating assembly, and it'll be on to the top end. Oh, well, I mean, we got to put the oil pump on, that kind of stuff. Here's the pickup tube for the oil pump. But yeah, so come along great.
stuff. Yeah, they use. Can you get in there to get a little bit in there? That'd be good.
I can put it on my finger.
Yeah, we get in there, get a little bit in there.
I'll make it work. Alright, so I don't put some assembly lube in all of them.
Lube on it. Exactly, it's probably got enough on it at the moment, but I would like to put
You mean put a little bit on it?
Yeah.
What was moving?
What?
It was moving.
Where did you go?
In.
That's some good shit, ain't it?
Yeah.
I need to eat it.
Yeti Bigfoot. So, got assembly lube on all the bearings. All red. Oh yeah, we stuck the plate on there and the cam gear on there so the cam can't slide in or out. So the camshaft's in there. You want to grab that or you want to hold this? Just make sure you get it. We got that sitting there. We're going to put assembly lube on the other side of the caps. We'll put assembly lube on the caps on the bearings on this side. Put them in here, get it torqued down to spec. We'll be back. nice. Camera was crooked. Camera was crooked the whole time it's fucking recording.
Can you fix it?
Kinda. Alright guys, so we got the back panel on. We got the back cover on. It looks really pretty with the contrast from the orange red to the aluminum. We got crankshaft in here torqued down. We got camshaft up under there. Where's that? Got a camshaft in that right there. And can you see it from here? No, the journal's in the way, but there you go. You can see it. You can see the big old camshaft there. So, but yeah, we're about to get the engine stand head put on it, and then we're gonna put on the engine stand real quick. All right, guys. So we got the camshaft in there, as you see down below. We put the crank in. We put the back cover on. And then hold on. Alright, here's the upside. I'm gonna put oil in the cylinder walls so that way they don't rust. There's the cam, you can see the cam. But you can see we hung the cylinder walls, got them nice and clean. So now I can worry about putting the pistons in, checking the bearing clearance like I did with the crankshaft. Make sure they're good. Once I do that, we can put those together. Then we'll have a full rotating assembly on the bottom. Well, I'm not 100% sure if we're going to use this timing set. I may get a double chain. I'm not sure yet. But we have this on right here now, so that way it can't slide forwards or back. So it wouldn't come out. But get that put on there. And then front cover. Then we can be done with the bottom end. And then it'll be time to put the heads on it. The valley cover, intake manifold, all that stuff. Alright guys, so I'm going to call it right there. That's going to be the end of this episode. We got the cam bearings put in it. We got the main bearings put in it. We got it checked to make sure that the clearances were good. We installed the camshaft. And then we installed the crankshaft and torqued down the mains to spec. So, if you enjoyed this, if this was helpful in any way, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It would help out a lot, with me being such a small channel and all. But y'all have a good evening. And peace out.